Good afternoon, everyone. We will present critical questioning and emotional reading about an article. The present is preceded in the sequence of the article, emotional reading, critical questioning, and the summary of the article. At first, we will introduce the article. The name of the article is May Primary School Teacher Numbers Dropping Will Be Extinct by 2067, defined by Sean Rubinstein Dunlop. This is the summary of the article. The number of male teachers has been dropping since 1977 in Australia. Male teacher will disappear in 2067 in Australia. Government, therefore, should enact law for increasing male teachers. There are several social reasons why males do not choose teacher as a job. Male teachers face sexism. Male teachers are as competent as female teachers. Next one is emotional reading. We will take 4 steps to truly emphasize with the article. First step is emotional engagement. This step is to report our personal connection to reading. We all have felt the lack of male teachers in school and realized that decline of male teachers came from prejudice toward male teachers. For example, some say female teachers are better at handling children than male teachers. However, we know this is wrong since we have at least one memorable male teacher. Male teachers sometimes sincerely emphasize with us like father or brother. Thus, we contend that stereotypes toward male teachers are inappropriate. Next step is to examine why we feel what we feel. This step, we will clarify not just what we feel in particular situation, but to make sense why we feel what we feel. We commonly feel unfairness. Do you think that it is fair to do something or choose a job depending on gender? Even though it is not fair, many teachers have undergone some kind of stereotypes or unfairness. For example, some say caring children is for women, not men. However, we all know this is wrong. Male teachers are also delicate sense of caring children and they are needed at school. Boys need the male adults to talk about sensitive issues that is uncomfortable with female teachers, and girls should be exposed to and interact with male teachers. Therefore, social perspective and stereotypes for male teachers should be removed. Jian is going to present next step.
Hello, I'm the presenter Jang Ji-yeon. Let's start to strive to understand others' emotions. As you expect, in the article, suppose might be male teachers. After reading the article, we try to understand the male teacher's feelings. To do so, we needed to look into the reality of a male teacher. The only male teacher in the primary school is a remarkable teacher who suffers from the lack of male teachers. He may have a tough time working at the school, and he has gone through sexism and discrimination from a social view. In the article, the male teacher is misunderstood in his relationship with children due to gender. Some of us thought the other way to get to get a better understanding of the situation of the male teacher. If the current situation had been getting fewer female teachers, we would we would not have chosen a job due to the stereotype that the job is a man's job. Next, as you know, regardless of gender, Everyone takes pride in the job. However, the job satisfaction of a male teacher is likely to reduce due to perceptions of his surroundings. If this phenomenon continues, there is a possibility that he may think that he will leave the teaching profession because he loses the meaning of this job. Next, we think about the reason why we felt that emotion. The main reason is the social perspectives. On the left side, social stereotypes or wrong expectations toward men and women makes unfairness and painful emotions. If stereotypes for gender are not eliminated, we will be constrained from getting a job or dreaming of our future jobs and suffered continually from them. On the right side, the writer is appealing to leaders that the current situation is serious and that a solution is needed. In addition, it raises the leaders' sorrow and anger by talking about sexism experienced by male teachers in these situations. Finally, we can emphasize that male teachers do not have a negative impact on a child's academic performance and that children need to have access to various teachers. Finally, we think about what we can do for social change. Perceptions based on gender should be changed. It is necessary to change public awareness by exposing gender-biased jobs to the media. For instance, there is a drama Romantic Doctor Kim Sa-woo in which a male nurse that is social bias appears and he just shows a professional appearance as a nurse depending on not his gender but his ability. In addition, campaigns, public advertisements, and so on may be utilized. Besides, the perception should be changed from textbooks. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Family has changed sexist content in the textbook. In the physical education textbook, there are many parts where doctors are portrayed as men, nurses and teachers are depicted as women. There were also many opinions that it would be good to place men and women evenly so that one professional group would not be identified by one gender. According to Nail newspaper, 90.4% of teachers surveyed think that teacher gender imbalance is hindering students' gender role identity. Therefore, a variety of policy alternatives will be needed. For example, institutional intervention by the government, such as the employment court system for teachers, is necessary. However, as you know, it is not easy to enact rules which increase male teachers because the test for selecting teachers must be fair. If the government enacts the rule and gives more chances to be a teacher for men, there would be unfairness and arouse discrimination to women. At this point, we should change the social view. Every job is open for all gender. Gender does not matter to choose a job. It is to achieve social justice. Next, Jiun will talk about critical questioning.
This time I'll present critical questioning, which consists of 5 questions. The first question is why did the author write this? This is a question asking about the purpose of this article. We think that the author wrote the article to inform the reality that the number of male teachers in elementary school is decreasing, and the results of predicting the future. The author also wrote about the difficulty that a male teacher is experiencing. Through the graph present below, we can check the distribution by teacher level and gender in public elementary and middle schools. The second question is how does the language of the text help to achieve its purpose? This is a question of specific grammatical and lexical skills that the other used to lead the reader to some special interpretation. We think that the other increased credibility by citing research results and figures and convey the other's intention through questioning. The other also effectively conveyed their opinions through interview with male teachers. In the text, no government in Australia had a policy to encourage men to take up teaching, expresses strong comments. Disappear entirely and extinct are also considered strong lexical items. Also, by using words such as sexism, national trend, base social pressure, masculine, and pure men, it shows public social awareness status of male teachers. The third question is what is the writer's position on the topic? How can you tell? It's a question about the point of view of the writer. The writer expresses regret at the decreasing number of male teachers and the difficulties faced by male teachers in the field of education. They show the other's thoughts by presenting a specific year and indicating a change in the ratio of male teachers and interview with male teachers. The writer's position is to increase the number of male teachers in school. It suggests that this reality needs to be improved and emphasizes the need for the government to take action on this issue. The next presenter is Siun.
Next, whose interests and cultural values are presented, missing, and marginalized? In other words, what is the writer's possible bias? In response to this question, we thought this article is well described in a relatively neutral position because of the nature of the article, but in the male teachers face sexism section, it only deals with sexism experienced by male teachers, which can cause prejudice. For example, high-ranking positions such as principals and vice principals are often occupied by men, and there are as many cases of sexual harassment experienced by female teachers as there are cases of sexism experienced by male teachers. But these cases are not considered at all in the article. Of course, by quoting the actual case of sexism that Daniel experienced, it illustrates example of it that male teachers face in reality. However, it can be interpreted to readers that only male teachers suffer from gender discrimination, which shows that the writer only deals with the problem from a male point of view. But, as I mentioned earlier, in the case of female teachers, the gender ratio in high-ranking positions is as low as that of male teachers. And there are many cases of sexual harassment experienced by female teachers like this. So, when dealing with that issue, it seems necessary to look at it from both male and female perspectives. So, what are other ways to better portray the same issue? First, it is necessary to add other male teachers' opinions and students' opinions as third parties to enhance the credibility of sexism experienced by male teachers. The article contains only one linear experience, so other people's experiences are also needed to enhance objectivity. Also, since this article is foreign article, it only shows foreign examples and figures. So, if we add examples of our country and data on teachers' gender ratio as with the following statistics, we will be able to better portray the seriousness of the teacher gender imbalance. And finally, in terms of means of delivering information, people these days use SNS rather than search for and read news articles. Therefore, through SNS such as Facebook and Instagram, we will be able to better inform people of the problem of teacher gender imbalance. Now, in conclusion, To summarize the article from the perspectives of a critical reading and emotional reading, through emotional reading, we were able to relate the problem of teacher-gender imbalance in the article to our school experiences. And we also tried to construct the relation of equivalence with the sufferers, feeling unfair while reading the sexism part. As a result, we were able to empathize with male teachers who were sufferers. Next, through critical reading, we were able to focus on the content of the article itself, and we were able to understand the purpose and perspective of the writer while focusing on the lexical and grammatical items in the article. Furthermore, we found the writer's bias, criticized it, and developed a critical view. So, this is the end of our presentation. Thank you.